watching America Trends. I'm Mary Burt-Godwin, and we have in studio our favorite cybersecurity expert, Mr. Brad Rambur, pilot extraordinaire. What are the other things you can do? Musician. I got to talk about the music that's playing right behind us right now. Pilot, not better than Tom Cruise, you say.
He's got more ratings than I do.
Which I found out in the break that Jason, our floor director, was in Maverick. So you got to go see Maverick so you can see Jason in the funeral scene.
How are you?
Hey, and you can see all of San Diego.
By the way, in the
cried
funeral
in that
scene,
movie.
he was standing upright with other alive people.
Oh, Jason?
Yes.
Yeah. In black suit amongst a
Yes.
sea of 300 people.
Yeah.
Were you crying, Jason? Did you shed a tear in the scene?
No.
No, you didn't. You didn't method act? No?
He was.
Val Kilmer was there. I didn't even recognize him.
Oh, Val Kilmer was there.
You know what? That's cooler than heck.
That is pretty cool.
Well, I mean, it's serious business what he's dealing with. So
Yeah,
that he came
that's
out
true.
and A, shot the film, and B, showed up for that scene. Which,
Actually, I cried in the Val Kilmer scene. I got emotional. I cried many times in that movie, you guys.
Wow.
This is real news. Okay, let's move on to something that we're all here to talk about. Okay, so there's something that you sent me, which is called the Tech Layoff Tracker.
yeah,
What the heck is this? What the tech is this, Brad?
boy, we could take way more than our allotted time to talk about that.
Okay.
But so, as a technology staffer, right? So a knowledge worker, it's an interesting business model. Do people need this technology? Well, they did fine 100 years ago. Does this make life better? Sure. Are you making money doing it? Great. So you look at these companies, and as a recovering middle manager, you're at a cocktail party.
Recovering middle manager.
Well, let's think about this. You're at a cocktail party, and you could be using all your tech jargon, but people won't understand you.
Yeah.
But what they understand from the industrial age is, well, I have a department, I have a team. How big is your team?
Yeah.
And how big is your budget? Mm-hmm. Okay, great. Well, the tech folk understand that all enterprises, General Electric was Edison Electric. Morgan took it from Edison, and it's GE, right? So where do you lose grasp of control if that's what you care about? So with this tracker, people who work in tech are watching what the rest of tech is doing as a sector. Okay, so if all of a sudden if they plant Arizona full of solar panels and we make enough electricity to power the western U.S., what's that going to do to oil? Well, might not need to run any oil-fired power plants in the western U.S. What's that going to do to oil prices? What's that going to do to oil workers? So there's this.
Is that going to be a part of this
Well, it is for tech.
for tech? Right. Okay.
Are you a tech firm? Is your tech stock doing well? If your tech stock isn't doing well, does
So
that
can
mean
we
layoffs?
pull that website back up?
Sure.
What was it? Layoffs dot something. Not
I
IO.
think it's .fyi.
There it is. FYI. Yep.
Yeah.
I've never heard of that actually. .fyi.
They pick 3 letters.
That is amazing. Okay.
Yeah.
So here's Pier that's in Sao Paulo. You can see where it is. How many people were laid off, the date they were laid off, and their industry. And there's a link right there. So now, who would be the people that would be watching this?
Are there people that work in these tiers? I mean,
Okay.
didn't Amazon just lay off 18,000? And didn't Meta just lay off 12?
Yeah.
I have
have
colleagues
friends that-
impacted by those
Yeah,
things.
so do
those
I. have
moves.
friends that.
So if you are a public company in the U.S. or in the state of California, maybe both, you have to file that you're going to make a move like that in advance. And that is publicly available information to the best of my knowledge. And so there are people that pay attention to these things. And hey guys,
There you go.
something's
Okay,
happening.
so when is this new? This website?
Relatively. I
Okay.
got this from a colleague
Yeah.
who is also a tech sector person, and they're worried about the bloodbath.
Because what's the negative fee? I mean, if you're a tech company, you don't want to be on you don't want your business being blasted out, right? So interesting.
Any business, yeah. So, I mean, as a technologist, either you do something hypercritical to the business. You heard, we keep going to Elon. Okay, I think I found about 70% of the people here manage something, and about 30 of them actually code. So his theory is, I'm going to get rid of the people that just manage stuff and keep the people that write code and actually change or improve or add value to the platform. And so then everybody got really upset that he walked a bunch of people out the door. Okay, why were they out the door? So everybody in that space is really nervous because you think
Right.
about, you got to work long hours, or you're committed to the firm, or you're working 6 or 7 days a week. You've got H-1B visa programs, right? So you're in the United States working for a company because they need you because you have a specific skill. Well, if the market retracts and their funding retracts, and they're cutting, who are they cutting and why? The most expensive people that do the least amount is typically how middle managers are looking at that.
Yeah.
And so this is somebody keeping track of who's seeing this happen, what subsector are you in, where are the risks, are these people going to be competing for my job?
Very interesting.
Yeah.
Transparency all the way around.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a big thing right now. In California, wages are now going to be
And not just California. Yeah, it's been that way for a while.
Yeah. Okay, let's shift gears to this concept of the Supreme Court now lets Meta, their WhatsApp specifically, Meta owns WhatsApp, pursue Pegasus. Now, we've talked about Pegasus on the show. I probably could not give you a recap of what it is, so why don't you do that?
Okay. Hopefully we don't have to edit this out. So Pegasus is an Israeli firm that builds software that monitors the users of a particular device. Its market is typically law enforcement and nation states, but many argue in public forum that this has been abused by governments that want to target citizens or people who are critical of a regime.
Because what hasn't been weaponized at this point, really, but...
You use that word. I need another fist bump for that.
I'm so proud of
Weaponization here for my. That's right. So me as a security professional, I repeat that enough.
Yeah.
And now
I learned.
she's on it, on top of it. Is appropriate.
So what does this have to do with WhatsApp?
Well, WhatsApp was the vector that Pegasus used to load their application on people's devices. So in other words,
fellas,
yeah,
bad actors.
Didn't need permission to load it, didn't have to click on anything. They just vectored it into WhatsApp. That's how I understood this.
See, this is when the show just...
So we're at the top of the roller coaster,
yeah,
and then
we just went down and just freaked me out. So that would... how does that affect users of WhatsApp?
if you don't want Pegasus running on your device, you probably ought to not be running WhatsApp.
Okay.
Or did WhatsApp actually fix
Did
this
they fix
already
it?
so they couldn't do it?
So should I delete it off my phone?
Do you need it?
I have one niece that I talk to that lives in Rome, and that's what we use is WhatsApp because that's the best thing for it is for people to communicate.
You can do that with a secure messaging tool.
A VPN. Just kidding. I
no,
just
no.
wanted to use that.
You know what? But
I don't even know.
this is why I love you. You're picking up what I'm putting down. We've only been doing this for 2 years now, so this is
in
good.
the right context.
It's fine. No. It's VPN can definitely help, but there are secure messaging tools that aren't WhatsApp that haven't been compromised that you could use to do that.
How about just Instagram? Well, that's just owned by the same Meta.
So now what you're talking about is if you see a platform and you now know that the coding practices of that team rendered it compromisable, what are its brother and sister applications in the same company? What are the ethics in the programming, the secure programming of the device?
Okay, so should I delete it or not? That's the tech yes or tech no.
I don't have it on my phone. I'm going to answer the question that way.
Okay, so we gotta go, but thank you so much for joining us
Okay.
today and this
for having
show.
me.
We love having Mr. Brad Rambur on the show, and we'll see you next week
Yes,
or
ma'am.
next time you're coming by.
Yep.
Okay.
Next week's good.
Okay. Thank you so much for being here,
See
Mr.
you.
Brad Rambur, cybersecurity expert. And you're watching America Trends. You can find us on social media if you haven't deleted it off your phone by now at America Trends TV on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. We'll be right back.